I've been telling a lot of executive groups lately, and I share with you because I think it's true personally, that for many, the biggest danger in this current recession is that it won't last long enough. We were getting along so well right up until there, weren't we? That's when it went off the rails. But there are two kinds of organizations out there right now, just as there are two kinds of individuals in their career paths right now. And one is hunkered down, you know, the old nose to the grindstone, shoulder to the wheel. You try and get any work done in that position. Focus purely on the next 90 days, the next 6 months. How do we get through all this thing? How do we make all this thing work? And there are those who are taking 10 or 15 or 20% of their time figuring out what do we need to do differently when this ends. Because we know it will end. We've been through this kind of thing before. Those of us in this room know that there will be an end to this. And the other thing that we know is in every marketplace, 12 to 18 months after this thing ends, the pecking order will have changed. As Bob Dylan taught us many years ago, those who were last shall be first, those who were fast will be slow, and so on. And it's true for careers as well. If we're not taking advantage of this opportunity to rethink what we're doing, why we're doing, how we're doing, and where we want to go with this, and what we need to do to get there, we are missing a tremendous opportunity because half of the rest of the universe is hunkered down and focused on the next few months. Chinese steel's up 20% since November. The Baltic Dry Index has doubled. I mean, it's still way down from where it was, but it's doubled in the last couple of months, which I think is a very significant indicator of where we're going across the course of the next year. Warren Buffett's metrics say buy right now. This Warren says it's it's a few months away, and I mean, pick your Warren. I'd forgive you if you went with Buffett. All right, so here's what I thought we'd try and do to start off on a Tuesday morning for us here. We're going to have a look at some macro trends, the impact of technology, a little bit of the future of work. We're going to look at some economics in the headlines because we need to talk about the economics in the headlines. Well, it's in the brochure. We have to talk about it. And we're going to look at some implications for the admin pros. We're going to give you a quick test for your company. We're going to look at some of your future roles, perhaps, and a little bit of what you can do right now.
Warren, you should have suggested that we put our seatbelts on before you started your presentation. What a whirlwind
My guest this
session that
evening
was.
is Warren Evans, president of the Service Excellence Group.
It is now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Warren Evans. He looks at how the major trends are interacting with each other in an effort to see how they will actually impact us.
We are moving into what I have called the age of Hollywood days and cyber nights. Hollywood days in the sense that more and more organizations are recognizing that they are de facto functioning the way Hollywood has always functioned. We take disparate groups of individuals with specific skill sets, we put them together for given periods of time to execute specific projects. Once that project is done, never again does the same group reassemble for the same thing. In order to get initiatives to market fast enough, in order to continue to keep the organization updated with the speed it needs to in today's marketplace, we can't go through hierarchical boxes and old machinery kinds of things. We put together task forces and action teams and project committees and all the rest of this kind of stuff. The cyber knights are the people who function well in this environment. They're very good at multiple objectives, they're very good at multiple projects, they're well connected, they're well networked. They're very good at translating their tactical endeavor to corporate strategy. They understand how the pieces fit together. They're naturally curious. They're very irritating because they're the ones who keep asking why can't. And they have a tendency to be the people who got an A+ in the works and plays well with other children, part of the report card when they were this high. I wish people wouldn't laugh at it. That was my best mark for a lot of years. We are into an age of capitalism without capital. See, we've gone from an age of activity into an age of results. We used to monitor activity. I mean, here's a fun thing you can tell your grandchildren, some of you, that you were actually alive at a day and age where we used to pay people based on how long their body was physically in the building. We actually had clocks on doors to keep track by the minute of how long their body was inside the building. And that's how we paid people. We are now at a stage that says, here's what I need done. Within these parameters, here's what I need done. And quite frankly, I don't care where you do it, when you do it, how you do it, who you do it with. Here's what I need done, and here's what it's worth to me. Make it happen. Or, as a society, what we're struggling with is an education system that's been designed to prepare our kids to get a job, and what we need is one that prepares them to create a living.